الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحج أشهر معلومات فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج وما تفعلوا من خير يعلمه الله وتزودوا فإن خير الزاد التقوى واتقون يا أولي الألباب. We continue inshallah on the chapter of Hajj and the virtues of Hajj. One hadith that was left regarding from last week, our Jummu'ah, that was regarding spending at the time of Hajj. Here, وروي عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا خرج الحاج حاجا بنفقة طيبة وضع رجله في الغرز فنادى لبيك اللهم لبيك ناداه مناد من السماء لبيك وسعديك زادك حلال وراحلتك حلال وحجك مبرور غير مأزور وإذا خرج بالنفقة الخبيثة فوضع رجله في الغرز فنادى لبيك نادى مناد من السماء لا لبيك ولا سعديك زادك حرام ونفقتك حرام وحجك مأزور غير مبرور رواه الطبراني في الأوسط. The importance of halal and haram when it comes to the finances when a person goes for Hajj. Many people, unfortunately, especially nowadays, when the fitna is such that nearly in every single aspect of our life, there's in one way or another, we are affected by haram. In one way or another, most of us, unfortunately, we are affected by haram. There's only very few people, very, very, very few people that abstain from haram in totality, in every way and form. The repercussions of going to Hajj even with a penny, I'm not saying a pound, I'm not saying 1,000 pounds, even with a penny of haram. I told you the example of the urine last time. You got 200 liters of water, one drop of urine, what happens? Can you make wudu from there? Absolute najasa. Absolute najasa. That's the same thing. You got 6,000 pounds of halal, 1,000 pounds of haram. Khalas. Even if it's a penny of haram. Okay? So when it comes to saving for your finances, for your Hajj, be extremely, extremely, extremely cautious. Okay? Extreme precautions should be taken for the money, especially going for Hajj. Here, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, when a pilgrim, he goes out for his Hajj with pure sustenance, with pure expenditure of money, and he puts his feet onto the stirrup, on the camel, and he says loudly, labbaik, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk, the whole talbiyah. When he starts doing the talbiyah, an angel calls out from the sky and says, zaduka halalun, your provision, your expenditure, your money, your everything that you've accumulated to come for this Hajj, all of this is halal. Rahilatuka, your conveyance, whether it's your plane ticket, whether it's your whichever form that you're going Hajj with, whether it's, some brothers were going with bike. I said this a couple of Jummas ago, mashallah. On foot, even more virtue, and the hadiths are there. We spoke about those hadiths. وَرَاحِلَتُكَ حَلَالٌ, and the money that you put in your conveyance is completely halal. Therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts your Hajj without any burden, meaning without any sin. Without any sin. And the opposite for the person who gives malul khabitha, nafaqatil khabitha. He specifically mentions this dirty, disgusting, okay, najis, filthy. When he gives this sort of wealth, any haram wealth, then, and he puts his feet onto the stirrup of the camel or the horse, and he says, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, immediately an angel comes down and says, la labbaik, your service is not accepted. You are saying to Allah, I am completely in your service. Allah is saying, no, I don't want your service. La labbaik, wa la sa'daik, nor do you have any fortune. nor is fortune going to be given to you. Subhanallah. Allah protect us. Allah protect us. Zaduka haramun. Your provision, your money, everything is haram. Nafaqatuka haramun. Your expenditure is haram. Wa hajjuka ma'zurun. Your hajj is a burden upon you. Your hajj is a burden upon you rather than a good thing that you think you're doing. Many people, this is an example, many people. They think they're doing good. Whereas, in fact, they're doing more harm to themselves than any good. غَيْرُ مَبْرُورٍ. It's not accepted. It's not accepted. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us the tawfiq to stay away from all sorts of haram wealth. All sorts of haram wealth. As we know, this hadith speaks a million. وَحَجُّكَ مَأْزُورٌ Ya Rabb. We carry on, inshallah, to the next hadith. Next hadith, I'm going to give you the crux of it. This Sahabiya by the name of Sulaym. She wasn't able, she wanted to do Hajj. Maybe she didn't find a mahram, or nowadays, unfortunately, the times that we're living in, fatwa, the moment the fatwa is given by the Saudi government, khalas, everything is out the window. You know, muftis are out the window, Islam is out the window, Sharia is out the window, Hadith is out the window, Quran is out the window. Anyway, for whatever reason, she wasn't able to do the Hajj. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in order to comfort her, she says, Ya Sulaym, umratun fi Ramadan ta'dilu hajjatan ma'i. That to do an umrah in Ramadan, this is why brothers love to go to, families love to go to umrah in Ramadan. The virtue of this is extremely high, extremely high. Ya Sulaym, O Sulaym, umratun fi Ramadan, and umrah in Ramadan, ta'dilu hajjatan ma'i. It is equivalent to doing Hajj with myself. Hajj with myself. Allahu Akbar. Allah give us all the opportunity to spend at least one, isn't it? At least one Ramadan and one umrah in Ramadan. Many of the mashayikh, they used to go every year. They used to go every year. Many of the, you might be surprised, even the reward is reward, Just because a person gets the reward of something doesn't mean the action is overlooked. A fard is a fard. A fard has to be done. There's no way that you can avoid fard. Fard, wajib must be done. If it's a sunnah, then it's different. But just because the reward is Hajj with Rasulullah doesn't mean you don't do Hajj anymore. You still have to do your fard Hajj. You still have to do your fard Hajj. Same thing with Qul Huwallahu Ahad. We are told to recite after every single salah. I said this when we were doing Fadailul Quran. 3 times at least. Why? Because Qul Huwallahu Ahad is equivalent to a third of the Quran. So after every salah, if you recite 3 times, then you get the reward of a whole khatam of the Quran. Isn't it? Does that mean you don't read Quran anymore? Does that mean that you stop your daily 1 para, 1 juz a day, you stop that? No. That doesn't mean that. That means these are boosters. These are boosters. It's like Super Bowl, Subhanallah. There's more narrations that narrate the same, many narrations in many books of hadith by the authority of many different sahabas, that umratun fi Ramadan ta'dilu hajjah is equivalent to a hajj. Another narration, inna al-hajja wal-umrata fi sabilillah wa inna umratan fi Ramadan ta'dilu hajjatan aw tajzi hajjatan. وفي رواية لأبي داود والنسائي عنها أنها قالت يا رسول الله إني امرأة قد كبرت وسقمت فهل من عمل يجزي عني من حجتي؟ قال عمرة في رمضان تعدل حجة. وعن أبي معقل رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال عمرة في رمضان تعدل حجة. More or less, they all saying the same thing, that in Umrah in Ramadan is equivalent in reward to that of Hajj. And these are said in different ways as well. Different ways. Now we go on to the simplicity. When it comes to Hajj, we like to, some of us, we like to go all out. Okay, this is also against the Sunnah. This is against the Sunnah, just as it is now the month of getting married is coming. Okay, those brothers that are wishing to get married, those sisters that are wishing to get married. This is a great fitna. COVID suppressed it quite a bit, you know. COVID made it forcefully. Forced us to go according to the Sunnah, isn't it? There's no point. Look, there were Sahabas that got married. They didn't even inform Rasulullah. Okay? That's how simple marriage was. It wasn't such a big deal like we take it. If you don't invite the whole village back home and from wherever we live now, your marriage won't be valid or something. Yes, it should be announced. That's one of the, i'lan is one of the conditions of marriage. You know, if you want to think about it, it's one of the conditions of marriage. The i'lan must be done, that there's halal, lawful, marriage going on here. There's no haram here. And this should be announced to all the relatives and cousins and everyone. Doesn't mean everyone must attend. Okay? So simplicity. Here the hadith that we have, روي عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه قال حج النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم رحل رث وقطيفة خلقة تساوي 4 دراهم أو لا تساوي ثم قال اللهم حجة لا رياء فيها ولا سمعة. وابن ماجه والأصبهاني. Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu, he reports the Hajj of Nabi sallallahu and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made Hajj upon a saddle on the camel, which was not even worth, it was like ripped old saddle on the camel. It wasn't even worth 4 dirhams. Okay? It wasn't even worth 4 dirhams. 4 dirhams or even less than 4 dirhams. To show the simplicity, that it wasn't anything extravagant. ثم قال اللهم حجة لا رياء فيها ولا سمعة. O Allah, accept from me a Hajj where there is no pride, ostentation, takabbur. Okay? Over there when you go, what happens? You're in a disheveled manner, isn't it? You can't comb your hair, you can't comb your beard, look nice. You can't do anything, you know? You can't do anything. You can't use soap, you can't use all those things. You can't use attar, you can't use perfume, you can't use your deodorant. All of these things are. Why? Because you're going in front of Allah. You're showing that, Ya Allah, I've come to your house. I've come to your obedience. I've come to your ritual that you told me to do, like you told all the Anbiya to do. Allahumma hajjatan la riya'a fihi wa la sum'a. I don't want to show any pride to anyone. I don't want anyone to hear about my Hajj even. Okay? The more simple the better. وعن ثمامة رضي الله عنه قال حج أنس على رحل ولم يكن شحيحا وحدث أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم حج على رحل وكانت زاملته رواه البخاري. ثمامة رضي الله عنه, he reports, Anas bin Malik. Who's Anas bin Malik? Why does this hadith come anyway? Because Anas bin Malik was someone that Rasulullah made specific dua for wealth and for children. He lived the longest. One of the longest surviving Sahabas was Anas bin Malik. And Imam Abu Hanifa was fortunate to meet Anas bin Malik again and again. Imam Abu Hanifa, he had the opportunity to meet Anas bin Malik again and again. This is in all the books of Muhaddithin. If you go to any of the books of the biographies of Imam Abu Hanifa met Anas bin Malik again and again. Imam Suyuti, Ibn Abdul Barr, all of them mentioned this. So Anas bin Malik, he had that specific dua. So he was rich, he wasn't poor. He had a lot of wealth. He had a lot of children, loads of children. Here he says specifically he wasn't stingy, he wasn't miserly. But at the same time he was on a very cheap conveyance, very cheap saddle. This is to show that even though a person has wealth, but over there, simplicity is much more worthy. Much more worthy. Rasulullah himself was on the camel which was used to carry the luggage. Now the camel that's used to carry the luggage is well known by Arabs that it's a cheap camel. It's a cheap camel. It's not an expensive camel. It's a simple camel. So this is the one that Rasulullah used for his luggage as well as riding. Another hadith that we find on the prophets. وعنه رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى في مسجد الخيف 70 نبيا منهم موسى عليه السلام كأني أنظر إليه وعليه عباءتان قطوانيتان وهو محرم على بعير من إبل شنوءة مخطوم بخطام ليف له ضفيرتان. Musa عليه السلام, what was his state when he was making Hajj? No one's been umrah? Eh? Masjid Khaif is next to Mina. Is next to Mina. Masjid Khaif, inshallah, when you go to umrah, make sure you visit these places. Make sure you visit these places. 70 prophets prayed inside here, inside this masjid. From them was Musa alayhi salam. In what state was he? As Rasulullah says, as if I can see him. He was wearing 2 qatwani clothes. Qatwani is from Kufa, Mawdi'un bil Kufa. It's from Kufa. Kufa is in Iraq. Whilst in the state of Ihram, he was wearing these clothes in the state of Ihram, the Qatwani type of sheets. And he had, what do you call this? Like a line in between, and the hairs this way and that way. So he had a line in between here, and he used to comb the hair this way and that way. Subhanallah. This is just to show the simplicity. Next one, inshallah. One more, last one. We'll finish off with this one. وعنه رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال حج موسى عليه السلام على ثور أحمر عليه عباءة قطوانية. Musa alayhi salam, he performed the Hajj on an ox, on a red ox. Okay? Red ox. Again, simplicity. Simplicity is key. عليه عباءة قطوانية. We've done that. Very simple. Clothing as well. Sheets. Inshallah, Allah give us, all of us, the tawfiq to perform Hajj in a simple manner, in a manner without any type of pride, any type of ostentation, any type of people calling us, I've become Haji. Haji Sahib is not the title. It's not the title that we should go for. Just because we want people to hear that I've done my Hajj. Yes, you've done your Hajj, you've done your Fard Hajj. Excellent. Excellent for you. At least you can go in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, I've tried my Fard. I've tried to do my Fard. Ya Allah, accept it from me. No? That's all we want. Sincerity is key. Without sincerity, nothing is accepted. And for those brothers that went here, halal and haram, a penny of haram inside the Hajj of that 7,000 pounds, that whole Hajj is rejected. La labbaik wa la sa'daik. We don't want you, we don't want your service, we don't want nothing from you. Okay? Allah is saying this. Malaika are saying this. So be extremely careful when it comes to halal and haram, even if it's a penny, even if it's 2 pounds, even if it's 100 pounds. That wealth that you save up for your Hajj must be super halal. If there's a way to say that. Jazakumullahu khair. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.